Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So by the title you know what this video is, but basically I'm gonna be telling you about a bunch of movies that are worth your time watching. So I'm gonna try to explain it and give you a little summary of the movie so you have an idea of what you're gonna be watching, but I don't want to spoil anything. So for some movies I don't know how I'm gonna give you a summary of it, so I'm just gonna try to do my best and explain everything the best way possible. The first movie is a Disney movie and it is The Odd Life of Timothy Green. It is a great movie. I think it's a really good family movie and it just has a really good story behind it. So basically these two people, a wife and a husband, want to have a child, but I don't think they can have a child. So basically they wish for a bunch of things that they would want for their child, and they put it in a little wooden box and bury it outside, and then a huge storm occurs and something happens to the box and basically a child is created. So that's all I'm gonna tell you about that one because I don't want to spoil anything. It's a super good story. Next one is Aquamarine, and honestly this is definitely my all-time favorite movie. I will never get sick of this movie. It has such a good story and it's really about friendship and true friendship and how people are supposed to care about you and stuff like that. So basically these two girls are best friends and they live on the beach, and one of the girls is moving really soon, but there was a big storm a couple nights before she's supposed to move, and a mermaid gets washed into their pool, and if you help a mermaid you get a wish. So basically they're trying to help this mermaid find true love, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that one. Next movie is also another one of my all-time favorites. It's The Parent Trap. It's also a Disney movie. It's about two girls that go to a summer camp and they find out that they're twins because they look exactly alike, and they just kind of piece the puzzles together. And one parent lives in London, I'm pretty sure, I think it's London, and then the other parent lives in California. So the girls never knew that they were sisters until they kind of switch and go live with the other parents. So yeah. Okay, so the next movie is My Girl, and it is such a cute movie, but it's also pretty sad. So basically this girl and then this boy are best friends, and they're about 7 years old. So they just do what 7-year-olds do. They basically play outside and ride their bikes, and I kind of forget a little bit, but I'm pretty sure the girl is having a really bad day. So the boy, that's her best friend, goes into the woods for something, and he actually gets stung by a ton of bees, and basically just one thing leads to another. So I don't really want to spoil it, so that's gonna be it for that one. The next movie is Soul Surfer. I saw this one in theaters. It's a great movie. I just think that it's so motivational, and it kind of really I don't know the word, it just really motivates me and kind of proves to me how strong people really are. And it's basically about a girl who is surfing and gets her arm bitten off by a shark, and she has a bunch of struggles and she basically overcomes them and figures out how to surf with one arm, and it's just a great story. It's actually based on a true story. So the real person who actually the movie is based off of, her name is Bethany Hamilton, so she has an amazing story. Okay, the next movie is called The Shallows, and it has Blake Lively in it, and I absolutely love her. I think she's a great actress and just does such a good job in this movie. So basically she's out surfing in the ocean, and there's this huge shark that comes and attacks one of her friends, and she basically swims off and has to survive on this rock, and she's out there for multiple days, and it's just really hard because this giant shark's trying to get her, and it's really intense. So that movie's really good though. Next movie is basically for little kids, but I honestly love this movie. It's called Hop, and it's about the Easter Bunny, and that the Easter Bunny's son, who was supposed to be the next Easter Bunny, doesn't want to. He goes through this portal and tries to go to America so he can follow his dreams, and his dreams are to be a musician, drummer type thing. This guy actually, I think, runs into him. I kind of forget where that part would connect, but anyway, the guy becomes friends with the bunny, and basically the guy gets taken back to the Easter Island where all the Easter stuff is created, and becomes like the Easter Bunny. Really cute. I honestly love this movie. It puts me in like the good Easter spirit, even though Easter already happened. I think it's still a really cute movie, and it's definitely worth your time watching because it's super happy and it's just really, really cute. The next movie is kind of like a throwback, but it is so worth it. Sharkboy and Lavagirl. I know many of you have probably seen this movie, but if you haven't, it's so worth it. It's similar to like another kids movie, but it's still really, really good. Basically, these two characters, Sharkboy and Lavagirl, have to like kind of save the day and help this boy who created them in his journal, and they're actually like become real, and all of the things that he created in his journal become real, and they have to save the day. So I think it's a super good movie. It's really interesting. Like, I don't know, I just really enjoy that movie, so I think you guys should watch it. Next movie is definitely not a kids movie. It's called Tommy Boy, and it's a comedy. It's these two guys. I kind of forget a little bit. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, but I think they both lose their jobs, or one of them definitely loses their jobs, and they kind of go on like a road trip basically, and they just like screw around and do all this fun stuff. It's just like so funny, and I like laugh so hard at that movie. It's just such a funny movie. Like, if you're having like a bad day, you need to watch that movie because it will make you laugh so hard. The Kissing Booth. This is like a Netflix original. It's so cute. It's a love story. So this girl has her best friend, and her best friend's brother is like really hot football player. Like, that's how it is. And she likes her best friend's older brother, and her best friend's older brother like doesn't really like her in the beginning, but they basically like start to fall in love, and it's just really good. I don't want to spoil anything. Their Netflix movie that's like a love story is To All the Boys I Loved Before. This one's also really, really, really good. I love this movie. Basically this girl has all the people that she loved before, and she wrote letters about them and saved the letters, but her sister sends the letters out to all the boys, and they find out, and basically one of them needs help with his girlfriend, but they don't really want to date the girl, Laura Jean, and I forget his name in the movie. And the boy like fake date, so his soon-to-be ex-girlfriend will like leave him alone, and then they end up falling in love. It's a really good movie. The next movie is not for little kids at all. It's called We're the Millers. It's a super funny movie. Me and my mom literally just watched this movie. So basically it's about this drug dealer who lives in an apartment with a kid, and his name's Kenny, and his mom's like never around. He has to do this like deal for the person he's working for in Mexico, and the only way to like smuggle drugs across the border is to make it look not obvious, so he wants to like look like he has a family so they won't get like inspected at all. Another girl that lives in the apartment building, she's a stripper, and she becomes the mom. Kenny becomes the son who also lives in the apartment, and then they find another girl who is basically a runaway, and they all go to Mexico to get these drugs and bring them back. When his boss, who tells him to get the drugs, he's actually stealing them from another person who's supposed to get the drugs. I feel like that doesn't make any sense, but it's a really good story, and the ending is so good, and it just like makes me so happy. So that is like such a good movie. It's not like a violent movie or anything like that. It is a super good movie. You'd be really surprised on how good it is, because typically I don't really gravitate towards like the drug dealing movies, but this one is so good, and it's really hysterical. The next movie is called Step Brothers, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this one also, but it is a super funny movie. Okay, so basically a mom and her son, and a dad and his son, they end up starting to date, and the two sons are grown men, and they live together, and they hate each other at first, but then they end up like becoming really good like siblings, like step siblings, and they do everything together, and it's just really funny to see like what they do. And they try to build these bunk beds, and then it collapses on the other one, and it is just so funny. It's a really good movie. It is just hysterical. You'll love it. So The Edge of 17 is the next movie, and basically it's about this girl who's in her junior year of high school and has this best friend that starts to date the girl's brother, and she's just going through like a ton of struggles. She really doesn't doesn't have any friends now, and she likes this one guy, but it doesn't really end up working out. Her teacher is kind of like there helping her and like comforting her, but she's just like going through all these hard times and she doesn't really have anybody. And her mother just really cares about her older brother because he's like the all-star. He's like good at sports, he's smart, he gets good grades, not really struggling with anything. He's like the perfect child, and she's like going through all these hard times. She's basically like depressed in a way and just is having a really hard time, and it's just a really good movie because it shows her like overcoming things and just like going through the struggles that a normal high school student would. It's a really good movie. The next movie is absolutely amazing. It's called The Benchwarmers, and it's such a good movie. Me and my family all love it, and we always watch this movie on vacation, and it's just such a good movie. And basically it's about these three older men that get together in all for different reasons, but they end up getting together and they play kids who play baseball, and it's basically like the Benchwarmers and then versus the kids, and they end up beating like all of these little league baseball teams, and they start their own baseball team with a bunch of kids, and then they become the coaches, and it's just so hysterical, and it will make you laugh so hard that you'll literally pee your pants. Like, it is just such a funny movie. So good. The next movie is Wonder. You've probably read the book in school or heard about the movie or some knowledge of this movie in the past. It is such a good movie. It's basically about this kid who has a facial deformity. Is that right? Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about. But he has that part of his face is kind of messed up, and his family is really supportive of him, and he starts going to school, and eventually he makes a couple friends and has a bunch of struggles though at first, and things just get really hard before they get better. It's a really good story. It's motivational. It shows that like how mean kids can be, and it's kind of like eye-opening. It's just a really good movie, and it's a great story. This movie is Girls Trip. I'm pretty sure it's rated R, so definitely not a child movie. It is so funny. Like, I think I saw this movie in theaters, like I'm pretty sure, and I laughed so loudly. People were like turning their heads to look back at me. Basically, these four girls, they all were best friends at one point, but they like split up and have jobs now, and basically they come together for a girls trip and go, I can't remember where they go, but they go on a trip together, and basically it's this crazy like party and all, they do all these crazy things, and it's just really funny. They drink a lot. It's just a hysterical movie. Like, it is just so funny. Everything that they do is funny. The story is just, each of them has their own backstory, and it's just really funny. Next movie is Mall Cop, and it is so funny. Like, it's just such a good movie, and basically this mall cop who's like, they're not real cops, but they work at the mall as security, and he has never really been like super challenged to do anything crazy at the mall. Basically, this group of guys comes in, breaks in, and causes a lot of trouble, and he like comes in and saves the day. It's a really good movie. It's really funny. Yeah, it's really good. If you guys need a better explanation, I would recommend watching the trailer because, one, I haven't watched some of these movies in a long time, so I don't really 110% remember, but you can watch the trailer if you want more insight about the movie. Today I was originally going to be filming a different video, and it required my printer, and my printer broke right before this, so I just kind of had to roll with the punches and film this video. I hope this did kind of give you some movie ideas to watch. They're all really good. Like, genuinely, I wouldn't tell you crappy movies to watch. Like, these ones all like are really good, and I just wanted to give you something to do during the quarantine, and my video failed, so I'm kind of hoping that this one turns out good and you guys really enjoy it. So I will see you all in the next video. I love you all. Keep social distancing, keep staying safe. I'll see you in the next one.